Welcome people of the World Wide Web, and here we are for the latest video, or the first from 2023. So happy new year to everyone watching this video. Hopefully it starts off to be a very good one compared to last year. So what do I have for you for this video? This is to go over wave 2 of NECA's Defenders of the Earth. So as you can see, they came in this kind of sealed pocket. It's still using the plastic, which is it's a good thing. I know it's not helping the environment, but you get to see everything that's clearly on display. Sorry, the glare is getting there, and you get to see like all the figures at the back. This is Garak, I think that's how you pronounce his name. So yeah, that's it. So we go. So obviously this was 3 figures that came in the new wave. So we have a Lofar. There he is. Mandrake the Magician. Let's see if I can get him out. And as the box I just showed you, this is Garak. Probably hold him a little bit like that, maybe. There we go. Yeah. So we'll go through them one by one and see what we see. So we'll start with the Lofar. So I must admit, I may have mentioned this in previous videos, but this tiddly a little bit loose. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So with NECA, you always have to heat up all these joints, so it's all the legs bending and stuff. Notorious. The first wave, so Flash, Ming and the Phantom, I had to heat them up for so long to try and get the joints to kind of work. This one, or these 3 from wave 2, almost all of them, the joints were quite freed up, or free enough so I can move them, except for 1 or 2 points, which I'll get to later in there. But yeah, so this is Lofar. Obviously I put his gun in the holster there, which is really good. Like all the detail and everything else, it is quite clear. His hands, it does look a bit funny. I haven't had a chance to really pose him yet, but you know, overall he does look really good. So he came up with a list of accessories, so it's pretty hard for you to see them. The main thing that he came, or his accessory, which I thought initially was really good, and then my excitement turned to disappointment, is he came with this. Now this is his grappling hook that he has in the introduction. So if you've ever seen Defenders of the Earth, you can see like 1 moves there. Now this does, and actually another 2 in here, but they fell out straight away on this. So he's only got 1 grapple hook, so it kind of looks like a mountaineering knife. But yeah, so a little bit disappointed at the first thing out. But for accessories was, yeah, he has 2 spare hands, a knife, and then 2 blast effects for his gun, which he obviously came with. So that was quite good. So for the price point, I think they're about 30 odd quid in the UK for these. So not too bad. Sorry, just sticking the accessories back in the bag because I don't want to lose them. So overall, so quite good for Lofar. So I was, you know, so quite impressed. He does very much look like the character, with a little bit of realism put in there. But yeah, I am quite impressed so far as going off wave 2 of Defenders of the Earth. So then we'll start with, or carry on with Garak. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. So he comes with this little laser, and you have to take his hand off. Again, popping the hands out easy as anything. Obviously it goes on, he can move his arm quite easy, if you can see. I'll try and keep it on camera. Like you can see how like easy the arm moves. Now when I was saying about heating issues, his legs, these points here, now they have like, I can't remember what the term is, but you'll see that there's 1 section here and 1 section. These top sections on one of the leg is so stiff. I've heated it up and heated it up, and I'm probably going to warp the plastic if I leave it. So at the minute he can like move that bottom side of his leg, and I think, yeah, that's the leg that frees up, but this top section here does not want to move, and I'm not going to run the risk of breaking this figure. But yeah, overall, I mean, again with Lofar, I did a little bit loose on the hip, but I mean for the most part for NECA, not having to heat this up and having it is quite good. Obviously he was like kind of the general to Ming the Merciless in the cartoons, so it's good to have like 2 good guys and a bad guy in each wave. So I was quite impressed with him. Obviously the kind of cell shading effect looks quite good. I don't know if it's really being picked up in the camera. So what he comes with, he comes with 4 hands, 2 blast effects, and a little cap thing, which I have no idea what that does. It's hard to see them on there. Obviously, if any of you collectors are out, I like to stick all the accessories in a little bag, and then I'll stick a little label on here just so I can pinpoint who each bag goes to. And he also does come with his gun, pardon me. And then finally, I feel like I've said the best last, is Liss. So Liss is Mandrake the Magician. Cannot say enough about this character. Again, like the others, all these loose with joints. The only issue I had is with his arm. It had to be heated up a tiddly little bit, and then it all moved fine. It still feels a little bit tight there. But as I say, for the most part, he is like really good. Looks exactly like a real life Confessor. Obviously, the cloth cape with a bendable wire in it. So obviously, Ming had this in series in wave 1. So I'm glad that they've added a bit of like. Obviously, mine, as you can see, has a little bit of cord sticking out there. So not always perfect in their execution, but like all the details in his suit and the paint apps on his face. I think he even has a slight mark on his left cheek. Now I can't remember if that was supposed to be like that or not, but to be honest, I quite like having that. So yeah, this is a really good figure from neca. Really impressed. There will be some good, you know, I am in the past I do collect a lot of neca figures, and it does annoy me how much you have to heat the figures up and stuff, but overall this is good. You know, this is really good if they're coming mostly loose, but I mean not like loose so everything's flopping and that, but you know, loose to the point that you can move it around and stuff, and it's not really mucking up the paint, because that was one of the issues that people had obviously on the joints. When it was tight for the paint, you'd break off several sections of the paint. So yeah, so it's good. So yes, overall I'll put a picture up probably here with the whole team together. But that's sort of good. Obviously they go with the first wave, so this was Flash Gordon. I have the Sword and Blaster, just quite cool. Ming with his cloth cape as well. Looks good. Oh look, funny enough, on Ming has a little bit of cord sticking out as well. It must be maybe it's a way to identify this. And then obviously the Phantom, and with this little guy, and I cannot remember his name, so I'm not even going to try to attempt that. So yeah, so there we have. So that was the complete wave of NECA's wave 2 Defenders of the Earth. Now overall this is me more or less done for the Defenders of the Earth. If they do produce the kids, I think there was 3 kids altogether. If they produce some sort of special pack for that, I'll definitely be in, but I'm not gonna build more Garags for his minions or something like that, or even the alternate versions of Flash, and that just doesn't appeal to me. But yeah, I must admit I do like him. I'm glad to have the whole wave now. I mean, I know there were some figures released, they weren't the best looking ones, but these are very well. I mean, even NECA's face sculpt, it's amazing that they get the quality they want in comparison to some of the other figures that aren't too dissimilar in price. I mean, what a Marvel Legends is 26, I think a Lightning Collection is that for essentially, where is it? So for essentially like £5 or £6 more, you get all these accessories, and you get like a cloth cape, a realistic face, you know, and really strong. I mean, this isn't something like Marvel Legends or something, you know, they use the same build. I don't think there are characters that maybe have this suit. This is done, as far as I can tell, quite preliminary for this character. So, you know, it's good to see them actually put in a bit of effort behind it. Again, also with you have to consider the packaging. Now they haven't gone the new route of the packaging and stuff. It still involves this plastic. It's still cable tie or little bands in there and stuff like this. And so you are, I feel you are getting your money's worth. This is, without the heating up, around the 30 quid mark I think is a realistic benchmark for these. So I think you are getting value for money, as I say, especially in having to not heat these characters up. But yeah, no, I absolutely love Mandrake. Amazing figure. Yeah, anyway, so that is my review of NECA's Defenders of the Earth. Hope you've all enjoyed the video, and have a new year, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace out.